Welcome back. Meteorologist Hannah Sheehy is joining us for another edition of Climate Chronicles.
And this one's fun. Hannah, you're answering this question this week. How many tornadoes does Maine see per year? This is pretty interesting.
I can't imagine a lot, Hannah.
Do you have a guess?
I mean, one?
Close.
Zero?
You're close.
Two.
I won't give it away yet.
Okay.
But the question does come from Kate for Climate Chronicles. So we did see some severe weather last week. So she's wondering, since Vermont saw some tornadoes last week, how often do we actually see them in Maine? And when was the last one that actually touched down? So she's right. 3 tornadoes have touched down so far this year in New England altogether. And surprisingly, they were all in Vermont.
Really?
Okay.
That feels so random.
Right? Yeah, it is.
Vermont.
Vermont, I will get into this in a second, but Vermont typically only sees 1 tornado a year. So this is a lot for them. They saw one in Williamstown and Lincoln just last week. They were both rated an EF1 on a scale of 0 to 5. And that is taken into account when they look at the damage that these tornadoes have created. We saw another tornado earlier this year in April. And actually, I think that one was in Williamstown. I think Lincoln and Woodstock saw the tornadoes last week, so excuse me there. But 3 tornadoes, I mean, that is impressive for Vermont and New England altogether. We were in tornado watch last week as well, but we did not see any here in Maine. Typically, we do see around 2 per year, and that's dating back to around 1950 up until now. We have not seen a tornado touchdown in Maine since 2023, so it has been around 6 years since Maine has seen a tornado touchdown. The peak months are June through August, of course, our warmest months of the year. And the time of day is from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. And that window right there is really important because prior to 3 p.m., the ground has sufficient amount of time to warm up. That's going to create lift in our atmosphere that creates some instability during the afternoon time. So we could see something start to spin up during the afternoon and evening time. And of course, once that sun starts to set, we lose all that daytime heating that we gained, and we will pretty much see that severe weather threat go away. But since 1950, we have seen 140 tornadoes touch down here in Maine. We have never seen anything greater than an EF2 tornado. And of course, that is when you look at the damage after the tornado has touched down. That is the enhanced Fujita scale. And I'll do another story coming up this summer about what that really is and how we assess damage and how we rate tornadoes. That'll come up soon. But we've never seen anything above an EF2. We've seen a lot of EF0s and a lot of EF1s and only a few EF2 tornadoes. But overall, for how much tornadoes we typically see a year throughout New England, we are tied with Massachusetts and Connecticut with 2 tornadoes per year. And actually, something interesting about Massachusetts and Connecticut, that Connecticut River Valley, you're from Connecticut, right, Asia?
I am, yeah.
That Connecticut River Valley that goes through the western part of the state and through Springfield, Massachusetts, that area in New England is coined as our tornado alley.
Good thing that's on the other side of the state that I am not from.
Good. We do often see, we had a big Springfield tornado not too long ago. I think it was in the early 2000s. The year isn't coming to my head right now, but they have coined that term of New England's tornado alley. So that's where the majority of these tornadoes in Massachusetts fall. New Hampshire and Vermont, again, typically only see 1 tornado per year. So it's crazy that Vermont has already seen 3, and then Rhode Island typically sees 0 per year. So it's something interesting.
As a meteorologist, what are you looking for? What kind of factors are you looking for if you think a tornado is coming? Is it like the wind speeds? What are you looking at?
So I'm looking at primarily the instability in our atmosphere. If we have enough instability, if we're seeing enough lift in our atmosphere as well, because you need updrafts, pretty strong ones, to create a tornado. That's going to come with hail, and that's going to come with some pretty hefty downpours, and again, damaging winds as well. But to get that cumulonimbus structure that creates that tornado, you need really strong updrafts. So I am looking at wind speeds. I'm looking at something we call wind shear, which is the change with wind direction with height that's going to allow me to see if there's any spin in our atmosphere, any rotation. So that's all things that I really enjoy looking at that stuff because I'm a nerd meteorologist. So it is interesting to look at. And I mean, fingers crossed, we don't see any tornadoes in Maine this summer. I mean, we did see a tornado watch in our state last week on Thursday, but thankfully we didn't get any.
Ingredients are there,
Yep,
right?
exactly. The ingredients are there to support thunderstorm and tornado development, but a tornado warning is when the radar has indicated a rotation and has indicated that tornado.
But in the past couple of years, Maine has not seen a tornado touchdown.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, since 2023, that was our last one.
Let's
will
keep it that way.
Yes, exactly.
Jinx.
If you have any weather-related questions you'd like to ask, just scan the QR code on your screen and click on Weather Authority. There you can leave us a question, and you might just see them answered right here on air on another edition of Climate Chronicles.
Very interesting, Hannah. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah.